I know. I have one. I have it. Okay.
Go for it.
So one of the last times I did one of these, I asked who would you want to play you in a biopic. So, as a sort of spin-off from that, if you could choose a biopic to be made about any person, like living or dead, who would you go for and why?
A biopic of someone living or dead.
My mom, because I know she'd be lying.
Ooh, that's a pretty good one as well.
And so whenever she tells me I didn't do that when I was young, I said, but she did.
Oh boy! Wow.
I saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah, it do be like that sometimes.
I've waited for a long time, and they did Sir Alan Turing, and they did Hidden Figures, and they did, for instance, I can't remember the other one off the top of my head, but there is a chap that I don't remember the name of, which I think would be amazing. I think Hollywood is missing out on a great deal of brilliant, like, money and everything not doing his story. But there's a chap who was born into slavery, and during the course of his lifetime managed to steal a ship from the Americans, become a British pirate, then join the Union, and then managed to take down like an entire platoon of the Confederacy, kicking them out of the only remaining outpost they had in the area, and just continued to do some really kick-ass stuff. He did a lot of things like teaching himself to read and teaching himself how to read navigation charts, which is how he managed to steal the ship and stuff. I just think if anyone's going to get a biopic, I think that sounds pretty damn awesome.
Yeah, amazing. I think I know who you're talking about even. Like, yeah, I forgot his name, but I have seen the TikToks of like, oh, here's this really random cool guy who they should have made a movie about years ago. Like that sort of thing on shorts. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I guess on a similar note to that, have you heard of Bass Reeves?
Bass Reeves, I think I've, again, kind of similar type stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, like he was basically like Cowboy Yasuke, the first Black Samurai, basically, and legend has it that on the day when slavery was abolished, he beat his master in a card game and decked him in the face after leaving, yeah, and basically, he became a bounty hunter in the Wild West, and he was fluffing. Yeah, and yeah, so he became a bounty hunter in the Wild West, and he also lived with the Native American Indians for a while as well. And so he learned like tracking skills from them, and he went his entire career as a lawman without getting injured once. And the only 3 times that he was ever shot was like he lost his hat got shot off, his belt buckle got shot off. However, like the handful of times he did get like touched by anything, there was no injury in the slightest. And yeah, like basically like stuff you'd imagine like a Wild West Batman, basically. That isn't my answer, but that is like a vaguely similar thing I wanted to tangent about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. Also, I have seen The Imitation Game, very good, and fluffing. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, and I haven't seen Hidden Figures yet, but they are teaching it at one of the schools that I did teaching assistant for, so that was nice. And yeah.
How come you haven't seen that yet?
I mean, I'd like to. I just haven't gotten around to it, I suppose. But yeah, it will be interesting, to say the least.
Fair enough.
But yeah, yeah, my actual answer, like, either a biopic or a documentary about her, is Hedy Lamarr. Are you familiar?
No, actually.
Yeah, I mean, basically, uh, oh, oh, there's a blade cooldown. I need the blade. I studied the blade, and I'm sorry. What was I? Okay, Hedy Lamarr. So basically, she was a famous actress during like the World War II era, and apparently she was like one of the, well, she was like a pioneer of like scientific research and studies into radio waves, and apparently her contributions to the war effort were very big. However, in the scientific community, she was like basically like shoved off because she's a lady. And I've forgotten the specifics, but one of my lesbian friend over in Cornwall is a lot more knowledgeable of her exploits. So yeah.